Hey, how's everybody doing today? It's Chris Denny with Simple Sluice Prospecting Equipment. Making a video today about the rollout of the new 10-inch sluice box with Dream mat in it, of course. So what we have is two examples. One with the Vortex mat. Big, beautiful mat. And the other one with the combo. So this combo mat is the pretty typical combo. It's micro, Cape D, and mini. And these, of course, come with a carrying handle and the standard indicator mat. So it took me a little while to roll these out, and there are a few reasons for that. One, it's summertime, and summertime for me and my wife is really busy. We run a little farm and we work full-time jobs, and summertime is busy on the farm. So anyway, yeah, the other reason that it kind of took me a while was Prospectors Dream, the maker of Dream mat. They kind of threw a wrench in my plan, and what that is their mats are not always dimensionally correct. And in the case of the 10-inch wide by 36, there is a difference of a whole inch and a half, so in length, that is. So the Vortex mat is 36 by 10, like almost on the nose, and that's what I expected. The combo mat, and basically any mat with the exception of the Vortex and the dredge mat, those are all 34 and a half. And so that changes things for me. So what do you do for a transition plate or a clamp plate? Because what I do is I drill a hole, a single hole, and there's a wing nut on the bottom, and you clamp it right in place. Well, when there's an inch and a half difference between the two, you have to do something a little bit different. And so what Prospectors Dream does is they offer a completely different clamp plate for the sluice box when you order it with a Vortex mat or the dredge mat. It's a long V-shaped deal that slides in like that and creates its clamp pressure, where the other one is somewhat similar, where it uses a bolt and wing nuts. They use two bolts, two wing nuts. So what I did to remedy that was I extended this indicator mat further back, and so it will accommodate both mats. And then I drilled two holes and gave you guys a nice Buna N rubber plug that just fits right into that hole. So if you buy this box the way that it is, and you decide you want one of the other two mats, you just buy it, pull that plug, move it to the other hole, push your plate forward, and you're in business. So that's pretty cool. It worked out good. I'm totally happy with this sluice box. I think it's going to be an absolute beast on the river. Very aggressive, efficient. You can just run loads and loads of material through these things. One more thing that I recently changed was I switched over to a sticker rather than a decal. So what I was doing before was I was just making my own decals on a little plotter that I got, and it's called a Cricut, if you're familiar with that. But anyway, so the process of making and applying decals is a fairly considerable amount of time. It was costing me upwards of 15 minutes per sluice box to do so. Granted, it was really cheap, 15 cents or so into each decal. But when you're building a large number of sluice boxes and you end up spending hours making and applying decals, it starts to get really frustrating. So I'm like 78 cents into that sticker, and it only takes me a couple of minutes to throw those on. So plus I think that they're going to be a little more durable. So pretty happy about that. So yeah, we finally have a 10-inch sluice box on the roster, and very proud to offer this. I think it's going to be great. So one other thing I wanted to do, I guess, while I was at it making this video, was to give you guys some perspective as far as sluice box sizes, so that you can kind of I guess make a better decision. You know, whether you're buying a box from me or somebody else, I don't care, but I want you guys to make the right decision on a box. There is a considerable difference in weight and functionality between these sizes. So as you can see, next to the box with the Vortex mat, you have an 8x32, and so that's with Cape D and Mini combo mat in it. That's a pretty big difference. So those the rear of the sluice box on this side isn't even lined up with the other one. Considerable size difference. Obviously a considerable performance difference as well, but if you're the type of person that does a lot of hiking in nasty environment, steep cliffs, or anything like that, you want to keep that in mind. The box on the left is going to be less than half the weight of the other one. I want to say that's about 4.5 pounds. And, well, yeah, so there's a big difference. So you want to think about that. And so even just the difference between an 8x32 and an 8x47, you're stepping up considerably in size. And then the 8x47 versus the 10. So I hope that gives you guys a good representation of the different sizes and what you think might be manageable for what you're doing. All of these are great options. They all have their place, and I think you guys are smart enough to make that decision on your own. But I have had customers show up wanting the biggest, because if it's bigger, it must be better. And they ended up leaving with the 6x24. So yeah, putting it in your hands is a whole other thing. So what I do, I balance all of these handles. I don't just throw them in the middle of the box. You're going to see it's offset towards the rear, and it's even offset a little bit towards the bottom. And so that's going to give you a better, more comfortable carrying experience, I guess, if so to speak. So I do my best to try to give you guys something comfortable, something functional, and something strong. But anyway, yeah, so that's the 10x46. I may end up making that a 10x47. We'll see what ends up happening. But when you get the Vortex mat or the dredge mat, I think with that plate being moved 1.5 inches forward towards the end, having an extra inch might be beneficial. So we'll see what happens there, but for right now I'm going to stick with this beautiful box. Anyway, hopefully the next video we'll get some footage of me out doing some prospecting. Something that I haven't been able to do a whole lot of lately, just with how busy things are. But anyway, I hope all is well. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Take good care, and we'll catch you on the next video.